Hey YouTube, it is your girl the Racer coming to you live from my bedroom on this beautiful Saturday morning. Okay, it looks nice outside, but it is snowing and I got stuck in it, so it's pretty to look at, okay? Anyway, so I'm coming to you guys to tell you a little bit about my son and his autism when I first realized it. So, first off, I want to say I don't think anything is wrong with him. Sure, he has autism, but it's not the end of the world. I just feel as though people who are autistic just look at the world in a different way. Like they're normal people, just with higher functioning brains. Just because they aren't programmed to act the way us normal folks are doesn't mean that they're wrong, if that makes sense. So anyway, so I knew my son was special when he was about 6 months old. He would take all of the pillows off of the bed and he'll place them on the floor where he wanted to get off the bed from. He didn't know how to climb down, so what he did is he'd take all the pillows off of the bed, put them on the floor, or place them on the floor where he wanted to fall on so he can get down. So those pillows were his barriers, or to catch him when he fell. Like, what 6-month-old is smart enough to know to do this? You know what I'm saying? That was the first thing. The second thing was when he had just turned 1, he would like yell at the color black. I don't know what it was about the color black, but he would just yell at it, and he'll wrestle this little couch pillow that we had that now he is very fond of. Now he'll wrestle it or he'll yell at it, and I asked my doctor about it. I thought it was funny, and she said, "Oh, it was nothing to worry about. That it was normal." I said, "Okay, sure." After that, I noticed he started having like these dark rings under his eyes. I thought it was maybe because his iron was low or water. Maybe so, but some of the things that I read online said that was some of the things that was a result to it. So I'm not gonna deny or concur that it actually was. Anyway, right around the time he's learned to walk, he was 13 months. He was walking, but he didn't like to walk. And I think he realized that he can get from point A to point B from crawling faster than walking, which makes sense, right? If I'm crawling on my hands and feet, I can get from point A to point B a whole minute faster than me straddling one foot to the next foot, one foot to the next foot, walking. So I just thought that was just smart. When he was about 18 months, a year and a half, in April, that's when something in my head just clicked. It was like, hey, look up autism. Maybe your son has autism. It was just random. I just thinking one day, and I looked it up, and a lot of things that I looked up were some of the signs that he was exhibiting that were similar to what people were discussing regarding autism. So I was like, okay. So then when I told Dad, he was on board, and once he got on board, then I knew for sure, he agreed with me. So anyway, I didn't freak out because I didn't think anything was wrong with him, nor do I think anything is wrong with him now. Hold on. Sorry about that, I was interrupted. Anyway, so, those symptoms, or not symptoms, I don't like to say symptoms, but, the characteristics. So he was doing things that, to me, were genius. Like, right before he turned 2, he had to be about 19, 20 months, whatever. I honestly stopped taking count after they turned 1. I don't count months anymore. Once they turn 12 months, I consider that 1 year old. Then once they turn 18 months, that's considered a year and a half, okay? And then that's it. Anyway, so he found things that were things that spun or circular motions very therapeutic. And who am I to stop him from enjoying those things? That's crazy, right? So one thing that he liked to do was spin the chairs, our computer chairs, and just he'll do like this hand clasping thing, open shut, and then the fling of the wrist. Sometimes he yell and shake, or he'll um, he'll yell in silence, if that makes sense. And he sometimes did that with the TV when he'll watch TV. And I just thought, that's just who he is and what he do. Like, I didn't think anything was wrong with him. So once I looked up the information, I was like, okay, well, let me go get an official diagnostic or a diagnosis so I can see if this is in fact what he has. And sure enough, they're saying that it is. I just have to wait for the neurologist to do his testing and to figure out why he drools, because he drools. I don't know if that's something that is associated with autism, but he drools. Anyway, back to the spinning thing. So he'll spin things, or he would instead of playing with toys the way they're intended to be played, he'll take a different approach. Like, I bought him Simon, the beep boop with the red, green, yellow, and blue. So I bought that for him. So instead of trying to get the patterns, he'll just cut the button on and push the button on, push the button off, push it on, push it off, and then he'll do that for hours. So that he'll spin around and just spin around for hours. He'll get on tippy toes and flap his arm, but he's in his own zone. He's not harming anybody. He's doing his own thing. Now, the toughest part about it is not being able to communicate with him, because now he's nonverbal, which is really, really hard and sometimes frustrating for not only me but also him, because I don't understand what he wants, but slowly I'm getting there, and he can't tell me what he wants, which is like the biggest hurdle of it all. But other than that, he is the perfect kid, okay? Like, I don't have to worry about him. He doesn't like to be touched. He'll tolerate certain things. At first he didn't like clothes on him, but now he's at the point where when you put clothes on him, he knows that it's time to go or go outside. Sometimes he'll grab his coat to let you know he want to go outside, and so I'll take him out there. It's just little things I'm starting to learn about him, and he's also learning from me too. Now getting his haircut is a doozy, because right now he just yells and just does not like to get his haircut. But anyway, sometimes I had to fight him to brush his teeth. So instead of the regular toothbrush, now I'd get the little finger toothbrush and just brush his teeth that way until he's ready to use the regular toothbrush. I just want him to learn on his own pace. And I don't want to rush. At first, honestly, I wanted to rush it. I wanted to make sure that he had his best chance at life, where when it's time for him to go to school, he can go to school and understand how to deal with certain emotions and deal with other people. So I had enrolled him in the ABA therapy. We haven't went yet, and the occupational therapy. Now, the occupational therapy is where they teach them how to do daily activities and how to talk and stuff like that, sign language and things like that. Things that you can teach them at home that you are already doing. But, most autistic people, or I'm not saying most because I don't know a lot of autistic people, but one of the things that autistic people like to do is everything is repetitive. So constantly repeating things. So I guess we have someone come over to do the home visits every day or twice a week. They get used to it, and that becomes a regular activity for them. Now ABA. Me and Dad were in a disagreement about him going to the ABA. I didn't really understand what the ABA program was, which is applied behavioral analysis. And I'll just say this: if you ever, the whole approach of ABA is like the Sigmund Freud control conditioning, like how you have the dog and the salivating and stuff like that, how they train the dog with whistles and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I viewed it. And I'm like, well, I don't really want my child to be in a program where he's kind of treated like a dog. And I know I didn't want that. Like, I want him to progress on his own. I want him to be a kid because that's what he is right now. He's a kid. Who am I to try to rush him and have him start school early to benefit who, me? So it can make my life easier to deal with the autistic son? No. I wanted him to have his best shot, so I let him do things on his own. Just like kids, that's what kids do, period. When they're ready to walk, they walk. When they're ready to talk, they talk. And I'm not discrediting parents who do it. So, of course, when I talk to other parents and specialists and people or parents who have children with autism, of course, I'm like, oh yeah, it's great. You know, my son has been doing better, and but better how, for you or better for himself? Like, I didn't necessarily want to take their advice. So I took a different approach and I chose to talk to people who actually have autism. Mind blown. Why not ask the people who actually have autism how their experience was with ABA before I did the program? Because I would like to hear from someone who actually goes through the program, not someone who actually runs the program. Because if you ask me, autistic program should be ran by people with autism. What? So, with that said, so I asked the autistic teenagers and some autistic adults, and they said it was the worst thing that their parents had done for them. They get that their parents were trying to help them, and they're not discrediting that, but it was the worst experience. Some had the worst experiences of their lives because of it. And then when you hear them say they were PTSD survivors, and that's just scary. Having PTSD from therapy, when therapy is supposed to help you, how does that therapy is supposed to help you? How does it cause PTSD? If it's supposed to help you, that doesn't sound like it's helping you. It sounds like it's hurting you. So I'm no expert in statistics or analysis and all this other stuff, and I'm probably wrong from what I just said, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this therapy is supposed to help them, but it doesn't say how in the end it could hurt them. I don't think that is very helpful. So there are some people that I talk to who are autistic and have autistic children, and they recommend the OT therapy. They did not agree with the ABA therapy. That's what changed my whole outlook on it. They said it was the worst thing. Very traumatic. They still struggle with PTSD on a daily basis because of it. And me myself, I don't want to send my 2-year-old through that. He's just a child. He is 2 and he's a little baby. Let him be a kid, is what I'm saying in my mind. I'm not telling you what to do with your kid. I'm just giving you guys my personal thought about it and my kid, what I'm going to do. Now, I may continue to do the occupational therapy because that was something that the autistic people suggested. And right now he's starting to warm up to the lady who comes out, and they don't treat him like he's lesser than a person, because that's what these people do. They talk to them as if they're less people. Like they're training them to be normal, like I guess us. But then again, I must ask this question: what is normal? And then maybe we can move forward. Alright, that was just my rant for today. I will talk to you guys later. And thanks for subscribing to my channel and your comments. And also, if you have people who are, or if you're an adult or a teenager who's on the spectrum, I would love to hear from you, because hearing your guys' perspective is very, very reassuring, because I get to talk to the people who actually live this life on a day-to-day basis. I want to know what things I should look for in my son as he gets older. You know, I don't want to hear from people who don't have it, because I don't think that a person can tell you yourself better than you can tell you. So what better advice can I get from a person who doesn't have autism versus a person who does have autism? So if you can, leave a comment down below and tell me how your experiences went, and things that you prefer or recommend, because I would most definitely love to hear from you guys. All right, I will talk to you guys later, and ciao.